Ah, yes.
Hi,
Finally.
Siam.
Hi there.
Good morning.
Morning, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so Sylvia's Traders Lounge is delighted to have you on this crypto interview stroke podcast. And, you're one of the experts in this field. So I'm going to start by introducing you to the audience, and then we can get right into the questions, if that's okay.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so Siam Kidd is a full-time investor and trader. He owned several profitable businesses and learned how to trade simply through hard and trial and error. He became a RAF pilot straight out of school and began trading and investing in 2004. He's the founder of The Realistic Trader, which is a community of thousands of positive, like-minded crypto investors and traders and traders. In 2017, Siam Kidd turned around 25,000 crypto accounts to 1 million, and his trading community made over 4.5 million profit by following his movements in that period. So welcome, Siam.
Hi there. Yeah, thank you. I always feel a bit cringy when people read out my bio.
Now it's important for the audience to know who you are. So just
Yeah.
tell us about your trading journey, your transition into cryptocurrencies and emerging markets.
Yeah, sure. I guess I've led a bit of a typical journey into trading. So I started trading when I was 18, and I lost hand over fist for at least the first 4 to 6 years. So thankfully, I was an Air Force pilot, so I had a relatively good salary, which meant I could afford to live on 10% of my income, which meant I then blew 90%. Like every month. So I was blowing a £2,000 account every single month for about 4 years, which really hurt, as you can imagine. And I guess it's just me being a bit of a stubborn idiot is the reason why it all went well, because I just didn't give up. So yeah, and then so fast forward to today, I've been trading for about 12, 13 years now, and I've always traded the currency markets. And so when cryptos came along in 2009, I was very skeptical for up until about 2016 because there were some really big tectonic shifts that went off in the crypto world, and we knew that blockchain technology, i.e., distributed ledger technology, was here to stay. So I've jumped into cryptos, and it's a seamless transition because going from currencies to cryptos really is just another currency. Can you hear me okay? There's a lot of beeping going on.
I can hear you. So you said
the delivery truck outside.
no problem. I actually can't hear that noise. So you said that when the crypto market started in 2009. You joined that in 2009 or late from 2016, 2017?
Yeah, I got in about late 2016.
Okay.
So yeah, just because I've been the biggest critic of cryptos for many, many years. So yeah.
So how is it that you managed to turn around 25K to a million? Is this dollars or euros? Here in that time.
This was in dollars. Yeah, it was about 4 months. So that was in 2017. I did that. So basically I got in late 2016. Started getting a feel for the market, and the thing is, because I've been trading for about 13 years now, I for the first sort of late 2016 and Q1 2017, I was just trying to apply my trading methods onto the crypto market, and it's really fascinating that pretty much none of my strategies worked on the crypto market that I do on the currency market, which is disappointing because I probably lost about 10 grand in just trying everything out. And what I realize is that the crypto market that we're seeing right now is very, very similar to the FX market or the commodities market around sort of, well, it was like the commodities market in the 1960s, pretty much, and similar-ish to the currency market about 10 years ago. So a lot of my methods have been designed to trade the currency markets of today, where we're living in a world of, you know, zero or negative interest rates, burgeoning debt, currency growth and exponential growth, like basically a whole world of phony capitalism. Whereas the crypto market right now, it's like a fresh, virgin, wild, wild west, where there's pump and dumps, there's scams galore, there's all sorts. So yeah, I think I can't. It was either May or June. I opened up a public 25 grand account, and the reason I did that is I'm not a fan of the industry that I'm in. There's so many pretenders out there that, you know, probably trade on a dummy account and say, hey, look how good I am or whatever. So I always open up a live account and I make it public so everyone can see every move, everyone can download the reports, etc. And and then I started trading it. So I've adapted several different methods now which work. And it was good. So by sort of December, it was, I think, about $1.1 million.
Okay, that's very impressive.
So yeah, it was a nice run.
So the first thing that comes to people's minds when you mention cryptos is, like Bitcoin, for example. Would you tell us other currencies that you trade, other coins, that you trade besides Bitcoin, if you do, and the difference between coins and tokens?
Yeah, sure. So I don't actually like trading Bitcoin. So I trade pretty much everything else. The reason I don't like trading Bitcoin is that every single person on the planet is looking at Bitcoin dollar, as in that pairing Bitcoin to US dollar, and so obviously it has all of the liquidity there. But because so many people are playing with it, guess where all of the bankers are setting up their traps? And the big boys setting up their traps, that they're setting up on Bitcoin. So if you want to screw over as many people as possible, you go to the place where they all play, and that fishing pond is Bitcoin. So that was one of the reasons why a lot of my strategies didn't work to begin with on Bitcoin. It was one, because it is a really manipulated market, Bitcoin, at the moment. In fact, the same with others. So personally, I prefer trading some of the lesser known cryptos which aren't on everyone's radar, because they then adhere to technical analysis a lot better, and there's less shenanigans. So for example, like on Bitcoin, if you look back, in fact, I got suckered, literally. I'm well aware of this, and I think I was trading late at night, which is unlike me. I mean, I think I was bored, and it was like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I thought, let's just have a look at what Bitcoin's up to. And on the 4-hour chart, there was literally the most beautiful head and shoulders you've ever seen. And I was like, oh, wow. And because I was tired and my senses weren't with me, I was like, oh, yeah, cool. And so I traded that like an idiot. And yeah, I got suckered in and clubbed like a baby seal. So yeah, basically the head and shoulders it was beautiful, and then it basically just ran off the other way.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think your other question was, what's the difference between coins and tokens? So really, not much. They're pretty much the same thing. So, Bitcoin, I guess Bitcoin you can call a coin and a token, because it is the currency, or it is the currency. But for example, if you launch your own cryptocurrency, let's say on the Ethereum network, so you launch an ERC20 token, the tokens of your crypto are tokens. So they're not really coins. And also it's a bit of a dilute, a muffled sort of a topic, as in the difference between coins and tokens, because like some coins, or I prefer using the term crypto. So because some of them come with voting rights, some don't. Some are simply tokens in itself. Some have some are dividend bearing. So there's loads of different types out there. So I just use the word crypto because that encompasses everything. And a lot of people say, oh, they use the term cryptocurrency, but again, that's a bit of a misnomer because not every crypto is a currency. And the thing is, if you go back to even a year ago, pretty much every crypto out there was a cryptocurrency. Bitcoin, Litecoin, Dogecoin, all of these, they were types of currency. But now, since 2017, we've had an explosion in different types of crypto out there, from decentralized platforms to app builders to prediction markets. There's so many different sectors now. So yeah, there's not that many cryptocurrencies in percentage terms now as they used to be.
Okay, so what do you trade? You said you didn't have it very well with Bitcoin when you were starting out. So what coins do you trade now?
Literally anything and everything. So Myriad, Neo, Dash, Monero, Artbyte. There's loads. I prefer the smaller market cap ones these days. And also whatever is on TradingView. So I'm not a fan of TradingView because the charting software is a bit shit.
Okay.
But I tend to trade whatever pairs are on TradingView because at the moment it's the best of a bad bunch. So whatever is there. So for example, what was the last? Yeah, so XMY is Myriad, and so that's good. That sticks to technical analysis a lot. But yeah, so I tend to combine. The way I trade cryptos is a bit different how I trade currencies now, because there's so much shenanigans going on in the crypto world. I basically play the public. So, which means I use fundamental analysis to see what's going on. So if I see a coin that is about to explode or die, I see what's going on there. And then I gauge, and I game public emotion. So if it looks really bearish because this coin has lost its main developer or whatever, I will then jump in front of the public. So the public tend to be a bit slow in getting into the market at the moment because it's quite tricky to trade cryptos, to be honest. There aren't many good platforms out there to do that. So what I then do is I'll short the market before the news gets out, so to speak. But I will only use the charts to put the entry in. So I don't just go in willy-nilly. I do like the chart to back up my analysis, so to speak.
Okay. So now with every, like with every market, there's always a place, where people go and do the trading. So like, for example, for the tech stocks, we have NASDAQ, and then we have NYSE for equities. So do we have like an exchange for cryptos, and where can people go to trade cryptos?
So there's no sort of siloed stock market, so to speak, like you have the NASDAQ, the DAX, etc. Basically, the crypto market is one big sort of agglomeration. I mean, there's about 1,600 cryptos out there, and if you go to coinmarketcap.com, you can see all of them. So you'll see at the top the market cap, so how big the market is, etc. And then if you click on any of the particular coins, so I'm on it just right now. So if you click on I don't know, a random coin, let's look at Stellar. If you click on Stellar, you can then go to, and then there's a tab that says market, so you then can click markets, and then it will show you which exchange you can buy Stellar on. So here I've just clicked on that. You can buy Stellar on Binance, Upbit, GoPax, BSEX, Poloniex, Bittrex, etc., etc. So
okay,
yeah.
So for this interview, let's use Bitcoin as our sample coin for the
okay.
For the example, yeah. So like when we look at the current market valuation for Bitcoin now, would you say would you advise people to either invest or buy into cryptos? Is it too late? Is it would you tell people to make a buy or an investment in cryptos now?
Yeah, 100%. Like we've got. I mean, it's too long to explain right now on this interview, but there's loads of data sets which myself and my statisticians have calculated that the
especially
market, the
as
crypto market.
especially as a store of value.
Yeah, so basically we have a long way away until the market pops. Okay, so a lot of people are talking about, hey, it's a big bubble. Well, it is a big bubble, but we're nowhere near the pop. And so we won't see peak bubble until we hit at least 10 to 20 trillion dollar market cap. And right now the global market cap is only 418 billion. So there's at least 10 to 20 times growth from where we are right now. And so, yeah, now is a very good time. I wouldn't just go all in. It's always good to pound cost average or dollar cost average in. But yeah, I mean, if you look at Bitcoin's history, I don't know, let's say you bought every single month for the last 2 years, and you were the world's worst investor, and you managed to buy in the high of every month over the last 2 years, you'd still be thousands of percent in profit.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I would highly recommend to go in, but obviously I would only invest risk capital in this market because it is the wild west.
Okay, so like late last year, if I'm not wrong, the price for Bitcoin shoot up to $20,000, and
Yeah.
and then it started going down. Would you say like now Bitcoin is behaving like a normal asset? Because the movements have been crazy percentages up and now down. So
Yeah.
would you confidently say that now Bitcoin is starting to behave like a normal asset?
No, not at all. No, there's still huge volatility. It goes up and down 10% a day, pretty much.
Okay.
So yeah, and it won't be a stable. The whole crypto market won't be a stable asset class until we have the bubble that pops. So it's only once we have a massive bubble which pops, people get hurt, and then rules and policies are implemented, and then yeah, things then settle down. But yeah, it's going to be a roller coaster all the way up until the market cap hits 10 20 trillion dollars and then pops. So yeah, there's a it's not for the faint-hearted, because yeah, this is why you should only put your risk capital in, as in money you can afford to lose, and then also apply risk cash flow in. So any risk, any surplus money at the end of every month that you don't mind losing, yeah, put it in every month.
So some banks have already started using the technology, the crypto. So like for the banks that are still, for the financial lending institutions that are still skeptical about the use of cryptos, what's the future for the lending, for the banks, especially with either the adoption or not adopting the technology? What would you say about that?
So they were skeptical. They still are skeptical.
Yeah.
However, they now know that blockchain technology is here to stay. So pretty much every bank has a blockchain innovation department, which is basically code for, oh my God, cryptos are going to destroy us. Let's get on top of this. So pretty much every bank is now having a mad dash to try and embrace this, to see how they can stay ahead of the curve, because crypto's secret superpower is to decentralize and disintermediate. So, and the banking industry is literally the prime industry to be disrupted and disintermediated. And so, yeah, they're all trying to get together. Now, what I personally believe is that cryptos over the short term, so over the next 5, maybe 10 years, will actually help the banking industry massively and make them way more profitable. Because if I'm a bank and I want to send you $10 billion across borders, it's going to take me 3 days to clear. it's always T+3 with transactions like that. And it will cost me millions in exchange fees. And then obviously commissions and exchange fees. And also, if that $10 billion hits you, and during those 3 days the exchange rate has changed and you only get, say, $9 billion, there's going to be a bit of a problem. So we then have liquidity and insurance providers in between that process to make sure that, that doesn't happen. So there's a massive interbank settlement market there, which is going to be completely destroyed, because this is why the banking industry have all got together and they're colluding with Ripple. So Ripple is, well, one of the biggest cons out there is Ripple, because people think it's actually a cryptocurrency. It's not. But Ripple is there to basically take out the interbank settlement industry. So, and they've already done some tests. So they sent, I think, $10-20 million from, I think, somewhere in Europe over to Canada, and it took 20 seconds with a fee of like £10. So in the short term, they're going to, cryptos will make banks very, very profitable, because they're going to save hundreds of billions of dollars per year in time delays and exchange fees.
Okay, let's talk about regulation for a moment, because with the decentralization comes non-regulation, I think, in this industry. So by governments especially, is that a pro or a con in your, from your point of view, the non-regulation bit of crypto, the crypto market?
It's good and bad. So it's coming. No matter what anyone says, regulation is here. It is about to come stamping down on this industry. But what people confuse regulation with is that they think, oh yes, finally it will be a regulated market and all the scams will disappear. Well, that's a massive lie. Like if you look at the stock market, arguably the most regimentedly regulated market on the planet. Well, Bernie Madoff still swindled $65 billion out of the US economy over 25 years. So regulation doesn't get rid of scams. All it does is it makes scams higher level. So it goes from blue collar scams to white collar scams. So that's all it does. But yeah, regulation will help in the sense of, it should pad. So it should pad the volatility a little bit. But yeah, it's here to stay. And the reason regulation is coming is because every country on the planet, their main income stream is from tax revenue. And so all they want is to get their grubby mitts on everyone's profits. So, yeah.
So who would protect the not so informed investor or a trader who gets scammed, in the crypto space?
Well, at the moment, no one. There's if you lose your money, that's it. There's no insurance, there's no financial or ombudsman, there's nothing. So if you get scammed, tough. So but yeah, regulation should change that a bit, and it won't be long until someone comes up with some sort of deposit insurance mechanism. So yeah.
Okay, and then now with the crypto markets and all the hype and all the craze that's going on, and a lot of information overload from the internet, what would you advise people to get reliable information before investing in the crypto markets? And then you can also talk to us about your school and the crypto course that you have.
Yeah, sure. So, obviously, the world's wealth is constantly flowing from the uninformed over to the informed. And so knowing rule one of investing is never invest in something you don't understand. So before you put any money into it, you need to understand this market, how it works, how it flows, why it goes up and down, who are the main players, what to buy. For example, here's a classic error that everyone makes. They hear of cryptos and Bitcoin and they go, okay. And people then start buying Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the worst current crypto to buy. Do not, under any circumstances, buy and hold Bitcoin if your goal is for maximum portfolio growth, because it's already done its growth. Bitcoin has already gone up 3.3 million %. Mm-hmm. So for Bitcoin to 10x right now, so it's $9,000 right now. So for Bitcoin to 10x, to go from 9,000 to 90,000, that also means, with all things being equal, that the market cap needs to 10x as well. So that means the market cap of Bitcoin right now is 154 billion. So the market cap for Bitcoin has to be 1.5 trillion dollars, which is like ridiculous. Like basically, so in order for Bitcoin to 10x, you need to find another $1 trillion, which is hard to go into one asset. Whereas if you look at, say, a smaller coin, I know I'm just looking down the big list at the moment. So for instance, if you have a coin which is 100 million market cap, it's a lot easier to go from 100 million to 1 billion in market cap than go from, so if you want maximum portfolio growth, don't touch Bitcoin. I would get in all the other coins, but yeah, education is so important. So that's why I've got my crypto community. So I've set up an online community. So we have a massive event every 3 months where between 200 to 500 people turn up, and we have guest speakers, and it's really good. And that way you make friends. And every 2 months we have like a pizza gathering where there's only 20 to 50 in London, which is fun. We guest speakers, and obviously you can catch up with your friends again. And yeah, we have a really well, obviously I'm biased, but I think it's the best online Facebook group out there as well. So if you have any questions whatsoever, you put it on the group and it's answered within minutes by several people. So yeah, it's a really, really buzzing and active group that. So yeah, and so that's the community, and obviously we have to ensure that the quality of the group remains high, and that the quality of questions is high. Like what I don't want in the group is what is Bitcoin, etc. So what I've done is I've created an online video course of the base. It's a course for basic investing in cryptos, and so we've got this CPD accredited. So it's the only crypto course in Europe which is CPD accredited. So
congratulations on that.
Oh, thank you. But it just means that the course is good. So we can take someone from zero knowledge to being a really, really good, good crypto investor. So for example, like as I said last year, the community made over £4.5 million in combined profits.
Yeah.
And like the reviews we've got from the community are just amazing. Like for example, one of our best students, who's now actually one of our crypto mentors, he turned £3,000 into £120,000 during that same period, just by sort of he was copying my trades as I was growing my account. But yeah, and so we've got loads of stories like that. So yeah,
okay,
it's all fun and games.
Where can people get the crypto course? On the Realistic Trader site?
Yeah, the realistictrader.com.
Okay.
So
okay, I'll put a link to the podcast later on that.
Okay. Lovely. So what about yourself? Do you trade cryptos at the moment yourself?
No. As you know, I'm actually doing this interview first of all to get info from an expert, and also to enlighten other students locally, because there's been a lot of misinformation regarding the cryptocurrency locally. But I do trade I do trade the foreign exchange. As we almost winding up the interview, sadly, there's some. You said at first you were also skeptical about the cryptocurrencies. I don't know what pushed you and gave you the confidence to invest into the crypto markets. Lately, we've also seen the likes of George Soros as well. Some of the trading legends are also in the space. Would you say it's the future for global financial markets, the cryptos?
100%. The crypto market will eat up the whole FX market at some point, and the FX market is a $1.4 quadrillion market. Everything will be tokenized. So I also believe that the stock market itself will be consumed by cryptos, because people probably will, instead of having a stock and launching that, IPOing their own stock, etc., which is laborious, it's time consuming, it takes money, like it's such a chore. They'll just tokenize their business and instead have, a token for their business instead of a ticker on a stock market. So yeah, it's going to eat the world. Like what the internet did for communication, cryptos will do for money. However, it's going to be way bigger than what the internet was, because at the end of the day, what do you care more about, email or money?
Money.
Yeah, money. Yeah. So yeah, the internet and email was a huge thing, and the whole world, is pivoted around email, etc. But this is the evolution of money. It really is. Cryptos are the evolution of money, and DLTs, distributed ledger technologies, are the revolution of trust. So yeah, anything that has control will be disintermediated. And yeah, it's such an exciting time. But yeah, if you go to the website, I've put out 3 free videos which explains the bigger picture. So yeah.
Okay, let's talk about the volatility of the crypto markets. So like, for example, whatever happens in the generally in the financial market, say if there was some geopolitical news, or say Trump has messed up with Syria or something, does that reflect on the volatility of the crypto markets as it happens on the other financial markets?
Not so much. No, not really. Unfortunately, this market is 1% utility value and 99% BS, hype, greed, hope, and fake news. So at the moment, it's really sad, but it's just it's just hype that moves the market at the moment. So if a coin says, "Hey, we've just finished producing our special software and we're going to be releasing it soon," yay, on Twitter, then that crypto will shoot up in price because everyone thinks, "Oh yeah, let's go into the moon." So yeah, but in terms of like global economics, it hasn't really been affected that much. That's one reason why the institutions quite like it, because it's an uncorrelated asset at the moment.
Okay.
Somewhat.
So that means that if you have your own strategy that works for you and stick to that, then you're able to capitalize on that analysis to take out your profits from the crypto markets, because there's less risk affecting the volatility.
Yeah, which is another reason why I like trading the lesser known cryptos, because it sticks to technical analysis a lot more. I can then just keep on profiting from it, and then I extract the profits. And for me personally, I just like to convert my crypto profits into real tangible assets. So I like investing in businesses and anything that produces cash flow, really. So.
Okay, I'd be interested to look at your crypto costs and pass that on to some of our people as well. Like you said, information is everything, first of all, before we even put in any money. So we'll do that later. So for now, that should be all. What would be your last parting shot to the crypto, anyone looking to invest into the crypto space?
Just do it. Literally, this is like where the internet was in 1995. And we all know what happened with the internet. Like put risk capital in, so money you can afford to lose. And yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just prepare yourself for a binary outcome. So you're either going to end up putting, let's say, £100 in, and in 3 years' time, that £100 is going to be worth £20, or the £100 is going to be worth 100 grand. Or 10 grand, or yeah. So it's either massive win. The risk to reward ratio is highly skewed to the upside. So you just have to get in it.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Thank you for your time, and congratulations on being a new dad as well.
Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, no sleep at the moment.
Yeah.
So,
I'll link the video to you on email.
Cool.
Okay.
Lovely.
Bye.